Hello again. This is Bad Bob the Astronomer. As far as I know, this is video number 7 in my series of comedy videos. And I think this is number 7. Yeah. So anyway, as far as I know, this is video number 7. And this video concerns an incident that occurred approximately almost 20 years ago. I had recently bought my first computer. I think it was the year 2001, and around 2001 or 2002, I was buying a scanner, looking around to buy a scanner, and I decided that the best place to buy one was at the Future Shop store in St. Catharines. And at that time, that was the only Future Shop store in the whole Niagara Peninsula, as far as I know. So anyway, I drove over to the Future Shop store and I bought a really nice Canon scanner. It was really nice. So I got it home and looked it over, and unfortunately there was sort of a fog, some kind of a, pardon me, a chemical fog of some kind underneath the glass plate. And I was apprehensive that that might interfere with the scanner's ability to read photographs and stuff like that, scan photos properly. So I decided that I should really take the scanner back and get a new one. And so I made sure that I had the receipt and everything, and I figured that they would exchange it all right. It was within the warranty and the exchange period and stuff like that. And I hadn't really used it as far as I could tell. It was basically brand new. So anyway, I decided one nice day, I think it was in the winter, that I would decide a really nice day in the winter, I would drive over and take this scanner back to the Future Shop in St. Catharines. So at that particular time, I had started using a 3.2 megapixel digital camera. And at that time, the digital cameras were really bulky and large. At least the one I had was a really nice digital camera, but it was primitive compared to today's cameras. It was 3.2 megapixels, but it was really nice. It was a nice Olympus digital camera. So anyway, I wanted to carry the camera around with me at all times. So what I did was I went in, looked around for fanny packs, which were in vogue at the time. And at the Canadian Tire store in Niagara Falls, they had this gigantic fanny pack. It was just enormous in size. And the camera fit inside that beautifully. And I also had my wallet, my car keys, and all sorts of stuff in that fanny pack, along with this nice digital camera. And so normally, when I went through stores, I would wear the fanny pack over top of my right hip, just like that. And so that's where, right about there, that's where I had the fanny pack when I walked around the stores. So anyway, and then I always had my wallet, my camera with me. I was all set. In case I wanted to see a sunset or a rainbow or something like that, I had a nice digital camera all set to go. So anyway, around the time I was going to the bulk barn, I remembered that there was this old television program that I used to watch maybe 35 or 40 years ago fairly regularly, and it was a country music combined with a comedy program called Hee Haw. And it was very popular. It had all sorts of really good country music on it and very good comedians. And it was really a pretty good show. It had Roy Clark. It had performances by Sonny James once in a while. And it was really pretty good. I think even Glenn Campbell might have appeared on it once in a while. So anyway, it was a really good program. And so there was this, they had professional country comedians that were there, and they had these little routines they did all the time. And there was this tall, thin professional comedian, and his name was String Bean. At least that was his professional name. And anyway, he was on the program quite regularly. And one of his routines was he was sitting in a country store, and the other personnel in the program were seated around him in a little gathering. And he said, "I just got a letter from home, and I'm going to read it." And he said, "I keep it right next to my heart." And then he'd feel around all his pants and shirts pockets and everything for this letter from home that he kept right next to his heart. And where it ended up being was in his hip pocket, right next to his gluteus maximus muscle. And then he pulled it out and he said, yes, right next to my heart. And then everybody would laugh. That's where he kept it, right next to his heart, right next to his gluteus maximus muscle. So, you know, I said to myself, this might have been a bit misguided. In the end, it probably was. I'm going to use that joke when I go into the Future Shop store. So I had the receipt for the Canon scanner right inside the fanny pack, and it was, when I went into the store, it was located right over my right hip, just exactly like the letter, almost exactly like the letter from home was, that was related by this comedian named String Bean on the program called Hee Haw. So anyway, I was carrying the scanner in my arms, and then the fanny pack was there, and so I walked all the way back to the store after going into the store, and I had this Canon scanner in the box in my arms, and I walked up to the courtesy desk at the back of the store, and I said, hope you don't mind, but I really want to exchange this scanner for a new one. And the person, one of the store personnel that was there looking after me, turned out to be an absolutely beautiful young woman, absolutely amazingly beautiful. And so I said to her I was going to use this joke, and so I placed the Canon scanner on the counter, and I said, she said, sure, we can exchange it for you, no problem. Just give me the receipt. I said, sure. I keep the receipt. I said to her, I keep the receipt right next to my heart. And so I reached down to get it out of there, and the fanny pack was not there any longer. It had drifted right around into the front, just below my waist. And I said, uh-oh. I said, actually, and then I got very embarrassed, and I tried to explain to her that when I walked into the store, the fanny pack was there, and while I was walking through the store, it actually accidentally swiveled around directly in front, right under my belt buckle. And so she started laughing absolutely hilariously and uncontrollably. I was embarrassed about the whole thing. And I tried to explain it to her that I was embarrassed that it had drifted around on me, and I had no intention of doing that. And she started laughing uncontrollably, and the laughter went on for at least half an hour. I would say maybe 40 minutes, possibly, or even longer. And she could not stop laughing. And of course, with all this commotion, some of the other store employees started gathering around, wondering what was going on. And of course, I had to explain to them what happened. Oh, by the way, there's my neighbor's cat, Velcro. Maybe it will make an appearance into the video, but I don't think so. It's walking along right there. They named the cat Velcro when it was a little kitten because its little claws stuck to the furniture. Its little claws stuck to the furniture. So anyway, where was I at with my story? Oh yeah, that poor young lady, beautiful as she was laughing. Oh, here comes the cat. Velcro, come here a minute. Come here, Velcro. Come on. No, Velcro is a little timid about getting too close to me for some reason. It'll let me scratch its head when my neighbors are nearby, but otherwise it tends to avoid me. So anyway, maybe the cat is intelligent enough to avoid me. That's probably what it is. There it goes right back to its doorstep right now. It was about 15 feet away from me a few minutes ago. So anyway, what happened was this poor young lady was laughing absolutely uncontrollably for at least 30 minutes. I would imagine maybe 40 minutes. I'm not just sure how long now, but it was a long time. And anyway, in spite of all this laughter, and all the store employees were gathering around and laughing, and they thought it was hilarious. So anyway, somehow she managed to do the receipt and do all the exchange work while she was laughing hysterically. And then she managed to, I think she managed to get me another Canon scanner, which I left the store with. And I should mention that actually what happened too was when all the employees were around, I think it was when all the employees were gathered around, I actually made matters even worse by trying to explain to the employees and that young lady in more depth what actually happened. I said to them, you see, there was this comedy program called Hee Haw, and there was this comedian called String Bean. that made matters even worse. It was like adding 1,000 gallons of rocket fuel to the fire. So anyway, what happened was I happened to be in the Future Shop. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 months later in St. Catharines. And that young lady and another store employee, maybe 2 of them, I think they were also ladies too, were just walking toward me just by chance. And then I looked up at her and she started smiling and laughing a little bit. And I said to her, "Don't worry, my heart is in the right place." So that pretty well terminates this particular comedy video. And I imagine that people are probably pretty thrilled to see the end of this video coming along. Anyway, one last look at the azalea. Ah, somebody is delivering something for me. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, very good, thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You're now part of a comedy video. Do you mind?
Oh, I gotta go.
Okay, take it easy. So anyway, it looks like the mail was delivered right to me. I'll just take a glance and see what I have. I have deals for the whole family. I have some paint, I think, on sale, or I got a chainsaw on sale right here. I have a chainsaw on sale. I have a McDonald's hamburger. No, a Wendy's hamburger on sale. I have a Wendy's hamburger on sale right there. I think you can actually see it. That's exciting. I think I have some kind of a catalog here or something like that. Yes, it's a Canadian Tire ad right there. And I have an R.R. Donnelly device, and I think that's my latest issue of Sky and Telescope magazine right there with a feature about the moon in it. And I also have a letter from RBC, which is probably my bill for the month. So that's about it right there. I thought you'd like to see the mail that just occurred to me. So anyway, what an amazing thing. That will save me the difficulties involved with opening and closing my mailbox, which is actually, I think you could see it in the video, right over there. That's my large mailbox right there. So anyway, barring any interference from any space aliens in the near future, I will probably be loading these videos onto Facebook and YouTube before too long, possibly as early as this afternoon if I can manage it. So I thought you would be absolutely thrilled about that. So anyway, what was I going to say? Actually, it's probably better that I don't even remember what I was about to say. So anyway, this is Bad Bob the Astronomer, who will soon be 71 years old. And as you can see, I'm not very good at making YouTube and Facebook comedy videos. Maybe they will do better. They will actually be better videos if I start placing them on Instagram. So I was thinking of doing that sometime. On the other hand, the only thing that I might accomplish by doing that is to irritate more people. So anyway, goodbye everybody. Nice seeing you again.